and to go back home and then go and enjoy the money that they have looted. Yes. We are saying that this must stop now. Yes, people who are corrupt should be prosecuted, they should be investigated, they should be punished, they should be jailed, and the money should be recovered. And we are not saying that this should just start from now. If we know of incidences from 20 years ago, it should be exhumed and people should be punished. Because if we don't start punishing people, if we don't start taking those steps, this country is going to collapse. That is why it is no longer possible. That's why federal government pays salaries late now, because the money does not come regularly into the federation account. Because as soon as money gets there, it is being looted, and we are saying that this must stop now.
Can you say deployment of policemen around?
Well, initially we had hoped that the policemen were here to protect us, because it's the Nigerian police force after all, and the Nigerian police service. But the Nigerian police, they have told us that we need to disperse immediately, and that we need to go to the FCT command to take permission. And we have said to them that there is a subsisting court ruling, Supreme Court ruling, that it is an infringement of the Constitution and our fundamental human rights for the police to ask us to take permit before we can express ourselves, before we can gather together. They have also said that there is, because of the security situation in the country, and we have said that there is no state of emergency in Abuja declared to our knowledge. And in any case, the state of insecurity in the country is because of corruption. When people have stolen this much money and youths are unemployed, they cannot have jobs, and youths cannot feed themselves, and so on and so forth, they become easy prey for people who are mobilizing them for violent actions. And we are saying that if you are going to tackle insecurity in this country, you need to address youth unemployment. If you are going to address youth unemployment, you need to conserve the resources of this country. If you are going to conserve the resources of this country, you need to stop people from stealing and looting the resources of this country. And that's our goal. That's our idea. Thank you very much.
Sir, please, can I have your name again?
Jaye Gaskiya.
Your name, please. Okay.
Jaye Gaskiya.
But are you heeding now the call of the police to disperse, or you will stay put?
We are not heeding it. You can see that we are still gathered here. We are still here. And our intention today is that our intention is to gather here and to go and deliver a petition at the Federal Ministry of Justice, to the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, and to the EFCC. And the petition simply says that, look, nothing should be swept under the carpet. That in particular we want to start with the oil sector, and we are insisting that the report of the House of Representatives should be implemented to the letter. We are also insisting that if there are allegations of bribery and they are being proved, those who are also implicated in the bribery should also be prosecuted and jailed. I mean, so what we are saying is very simple. If we are going to start tackling corruption, then we must be serious about tackling corruption. We must show the seriousness that is necessary in tackling corruption. Because if we do not do that, this country will collapse. There is no need for any soothsayer to say this. There is no way a nation will be losing 40% of its annual budget to corruption every year, and that country is going to survive. It's not possible. And that is a country where in the budget only 20%, 25% goes to capital expenditure for development. Over 75% is spent on recurrent expenditure, and you lose 40% of that. It means that there's even no money for capital development. No wonder why our roads are the way they have become death traps. No wonder all the regulatory agencies are failing and have failed, and they are causing the loss of lives. I mean, recently we witnessed the Dana air crash. It's a failure of the regulatory agency responsible for that sector. And if we trace it down, it is also due to corruption, because several amount of money has been pumped into that sector to upgrade facilities, to do things, yet nothing has happened. And we are saying that unless we actually take that important step and declare today that as a nation we are fighting corruption, we are not going to make any headway. And it starts with the president actually taking the lead. It is not enough. It is not enough to dismiss the board of NNPC. And in your reason for dismissal, you are commending them, and you are saying that some of them are near their retirement age. That is the institution that is at the core of the corruption in the oil sector. And you are thanking people instead of sending them to jail. The police ought to have arrested them. It is after they have been arrested that you will announce their sack. And it should go beyond the NNPC. Was it only the NNPC that was indicted? we have the PPMC, we have the PPPRA, we have the DPR, and we insist that the petroleum sector has a ministry that is called the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. That ministry has a minister. That minister is politically responsible for that ministry. Somebody should take political responsibility for 1.7 trillion naira that is missing in that ministry and in that sector. In other climes, in other parts of the world, where people have little or modicum of shame, where they have modicum of, even if they don't have conscience, if they have shame, the moment that is revealed, if they had nothing to do with it, but it happened under their watch, they will resign honorably. And we are saying, please gracefully resign, or the president should sack this person. Because that's how you have to, those are the ways in which you begin to show to the world that you are actually tackling corruption. One more issue. The president said that he is not going to declare his assets publicly. Either he does not give a damn. In places where, if it is true that we are the ones who actually elected him and that he is not a monarch, that language is unpresidential. It's not the kind of language a president should be making. And a president that wants to fight corruption in an atmosphere where corruption has become pervasive will publicly declare his assets. Yes. To show sincerity and to tell the people that, okay, look, I am leading by example. I want to tackle this issue. I will publicly declare my assets, and then every other government official publicly declare your assets. That's the way to start fighting corruption. Yes. You don't hide behind principles that are actually not principles, and then you tell us that you are not going to do this. And that's why we are saying, unless Nigerian citizens become politically active again and take back their polity from these politicians, this country is going to be run down the drain. Thank you.